I have two basic areas of questioning for you. One is on the basis that the monument, when it was created, they indicated that other than keeping the coal out, that life really wasn't going to change on the monument. You're a transportation director for a county. Has life changed in the last 20 years?
Definitely has. It's the promises before was that existing valid rights would remain active. They've just totally reversed itself. Road maintenance is all on the county. The tourism that is using these roads are basically destroying our roads. We're not allowed to use gravel resources out of the Grand Staircase Monument. If we had a valid permit at the time, we were allowed to finish out that permit, but they would not renew any permits. So it's pretty hard to maintain roads without material.
How far do you have to go to get gravel out there?
The Grand Staircase is so huge that you basically just don't haul gravel. It's just not cost effective. When you have pits inside the borders that are within 10 miles, it's cost effective. But if you've got to go 50, 60, or 75 miles, you just can't afford to do it. The funding that UDOT gives the counties to maintain these roads is just not sufficient to do that kind of activity and haul material that far.
So would that lend to the argument as why the monument decided to close down so many routes? How many routes have you lost?
I actually did a count in the beginning, and we basically have lost 80% of our roads that we've claimed as county roads.
How much?
80%. Now that's not based on mileage, it's based on just the number of roads, but just over 80% have been closed. Physically on the ground, they're not closing too many, but by proclamation, 80% will be closed eventually, and they'll have to fulfill that proclamation someday.
Don't you think they could use the argument, if you can't get gravel, then I guess we should close them?
Maintenance and gravel is, two different things. You can maintain a road and, it's going to get washboard, it's going to get washed out. The gravel the gravel will save us money by applying gravel. The surface is harder. Traffic, will not maintain, will not destroy it. You've got all sorts of vehicles today going by GPS that are getting stuck on these roads because the GPS tells them where to go, and the roads just can't handle that kind of traffic.
I actually heard a comment from somebody up in Glendale at one point that one GPS outfit had trucks taking a shortcut off of the Glendale Bench Road to try and get over to Highway 70. For some reason, it showed that as the shortest route, and they'd get up there in the winter and get stuck. There's
been several calls. Cottonwood Canyon is a prime example of semi-trucks that have tried to go up through Cottonwood Canyon, and it's not a road recommended for motorhomes, let alone semi-trucks. And their GPS routing, the counties had to buy signage to put on certain routes, and it seems to be only certain routes that are being picked, but we've had to buy signage to try to warn people to don't trust your GPS.
As a citizen of Kanab, do you think that the new tourism economy has made the community, has enriched the community at the expense of some of the others that disappeared?
It isn't. I'm sure the tourism has helped a few, but it's those that can afford the put in the motel or the gas station. There definitely is an increase in visitors, but a lot of them are just traveling through. They don't stay in Kanab. They just travel through. And like they all want to ask the one question: where is the Grand Staircase? Where's the best place to see it? You just can't tell somebody where that is. The best location, in my opinion, is Lefevre Ridge out on the Kaibab National Forest in Arizona, because you can look across the valley into Utah and you can see the white layers, the red layers, the different steps. That's pretty much, my opinion, where to tell somebody to get their best view.
The one better view is in Doug Heaton's airplane.
That definitely would be better.
Except he likes to do this. Now I want to shift gears for a minute, and this is for another story. And the question I want to ask is the Antiquities Act is very focused on protecting the objects, geological objects, archaeological objects, and it's very specific that you're supposed to do the minimum number of acres to protect the object that it needs protection. In other words, like Devil's Tower in Wyoming, it's like 1,400 acres. They expanded it a little bit to take in some area around it, but we're talking 1,400 acres, not 2 million. So my question to you is, how much space out there on that monument, in your opinion, do you think really meets the criteria for protection under the Antiquities Act?
I would almost bet it's anywhere between 10 and 15% is all that they're really protecting it. They're so sparse and so small that in order to make a multi-million acre monument, to include those areas, they've just engulfed lots of public lands and keeping county residents and tourism from using those acres just to get to these sites.
No, not to mention the ranchers and other people who could use it to improve the areas. So, I tried to do a tally myself, and I thought, okay, if I were going to say that there's anything significant out there that would deserve to be a national monument, Kelly Grade Road would come into mind, but that doesn't qualify because it's man-made, and it's not ancient man-made. So that's a cool place. I love the Kelly Grade, but it's just a fun road to drive.
It is.
Or a scary road to drive, depending on the day. Smoky Mountain. Well, I could possibly see the smoke holes being in there, but that's what, 2,000 acres at most?
Yeah, but if not less.
Okay, the tributaries to the Escalante River, maybe. The Hell's Backbone area, Calf Creek area up at the north end, maybe. But I don't see identifiable objects. Like Mesa Verde, you know what it is. It's this cliff dwelling. Devil's
Right.
Tower, you know what it is. Grand Staircase, it's just, they defined it as a geological feature, but it's not unique. It goes those levels go all the way across Utah and Arizona and parts of Nevada.
And to me, that's the scary part. There's nothing out on the Grand Staircase that we don't have across the western part of Kane County. It's all beautiful scenery. It all has isolated pockets, but are they going to take the rest of our county away from us? Because it's very isolated. And you're right, there's 1,000-acre spots that could be protected. They basically were before. We weren't building new roads to these sites. We were just trying to use the existing routes to get you close to an area that, there was no off-road travel. Roads were pre-existing. There weren't any new roads. New roads had to be permitted by the BLM, and so they went through the NEPA process in order to build and get a permitted road to a new site, and so they were protected before. They're under BLM scrutiny before, and they still are. I don't see how spending millions of dollars to maintain a Grand Staircase monument is effective when it's under the same regulations it was 20 years ago. We just now have tripled or quadrupled the employment for the BLM in Kane County, which is not a bad thing, but it's our tax dollars at waste.
You could wave a magic wand, what would the monuments look like? Or would you consider multiple monuments? Does any of that land deserve that special monument protection?
I would say I would just eliminate all the monuments. I would make sure these small pockets of areas could not be destroyed, but you don't have to restrict access. If you don't have access now, just don't allow future access. Have it as hiking, horseback. You don't have to lock up land to preserve it.
Good.